We live, okay. Have not been live in a hot minute. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy, blah blah. All right, cool. It feels good to be live. Let's put a little filter on as we do. That's too filtery. Oh yeah, I always go for the bubbles. Do you know what? I'm gonna leave the filter today. Wait, what's this? No, I'm gonna leave the filter today because I'm in a non-filter kind of mood. And I feel like this is a non-filter kind of subject as well. So for those of you who don't know, we're going to be talking about processed foods. Now this is something that has been really just spoken about, and I get a lot of questions about processed food and stuff, and it's such a nuanced thing. There's not like a one answer like, oh my god, if you eat processed food you're going to die, or you know, if you don't eat processed foods you're like an amazing person. Like, it's not good versus bad. It's not one thing's better than the other. Like, it's a bit more complex than that. There's a lot of grey area. So there's 8 people already. I'm gonna give it like another, I don't know, 30 seconds or something, because I just want to rant about a little something as well. So I'm gonna use this time whilst we wait for other people to just rant. Really random, like, so I've been working more in like all female spaces and like creating space, like safe spaces for females and stuff like that. And the more I like dive into this work, the more I realize how much is needed. Like, over the past few months, obviously you lot have noticed, like, it's almost been a year since like I've changed the way that I look, and like I've spoken to a lot of you about it. And if you're not sick, then you probably won't understand why, you know, I cover my hair, and you know, just everything that comes with that, and my content's changed and stuff like that. And you know, a lot of it is because of my faith and my beliefs and my morals and stuff like that. They have just changed, and my appearance has changed with that. What I have noticed though is that I get treated a hell of a lot different by people. Like, first impressions are just so weird, and obviously I'm used to me looking like this. I don't think there's anything weird or different about me looking like this, but when people meet me, they put so many weird assumptions on me, and it's just so dehumanizing and so annoying. I just wanted to rant about that. But let's get to the topic of fake meat alternatives. Okay, so the way this is going to run, I've got my laptop here because I don't want to make any mistakes. I've made some notes. And I'm going to discuss 2 kind of big brands in particular. Now, the first one is Beyond Meat. Molly Isabella, hey girl, how you doing? So good to have you here. Oh, also at the end, I'm going to be doing a Q&A, so if you've got any questions, please pop them in, and just before I go, we'll do like a 5-minute Q&A to wrap things up. So if you've got any questions about anything I'm talking about, feel free to ask and we'll go through them. So we're going to be talking about 2 specific brands. So the first one is Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat has been like, it's a new brand, and it's taking the fake meat world by freaking storm. Like, everyone is talking about Beyond Meat. I think like in Canada, Tim Hortons have got a Beyond Meat burger. Here in London, like Mr. Singh's. There's another like big chain restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. Honest Burger maybe. Here in London that do Beyond Meat burgers. There's just a lot of different restaurants that do Beyond Meat burgers. They're really popular. You can also buy them in Iceland and other supermarkets here in the UK. And also, sorry, I'm just getting mad Twitter notifications. Popular me. And also in the US as well, like Beyond, and Canada, Beyond Meat is a huge thing. So we're going to talk about that because I think it's super relevant. And the next one is Quorn, Quorn, which is a massive thing in the UK. And they've always done vegetarian stuff, vegetarian alternatives, and they've got like vegan stuff as well. I don't know if that's a new thing because I don't really eat corn. But yeah, we're going to be looking at one product from each of those brands. I was also going to do Linda McCartney, but that's been done. Like, there's a lot of articles about the ingredients and stuff like that. So I thought, why not do something new with the Beyond Meat and that good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to start with the ingredients. So I'm just going to read them out to you guys so that you know. Like, there's a lot of ingredients in Beyond Meat. Do you know what? I might even try showing you. I'm going to try showing you the ingredients on my laptop. You might not be able to see it though because it's like a deadbeat screenshot. But let's try, because then you'll just have a better idea about what the hell it is that I'm talking about. Okay, so yep, the ring light. Okay, so you can kind of see what's in it. It's a long list for a burger. Like, if you were going to make a homemade one, it wouldn't be this many ingredients, and it also wouldn't be things like pea protein isolate, methyl cellulose. There wouldn't be flavoring. There wouldn't be stabilizers. There wouldn't be gum arabic. I don't even know what that is. I've never come across that in my life. There wouldn't be potato starch. There wouldn't be dried yeast. There wouldn't be colorings or ascorbic acid, or anything like that, or lemon juice concentrate. It would be more just fresh whole ingredients. Okay, so out of that ingredients list, which if you just Google Beyond Meat Burger, you'll be able to find the ingredients list, but I've picked out a few which I think are quite common in different processed foods. So we're going to talk about this first. I'm going to talk about the ingredients, then I'm going to go on to the next product, then I'm going to explain to you what I think about processed foods personally, and then I'm going to answer some of your questions. So let's get into it. So flavoring. What the hell is flavoring? So when a food is heavily processed in a factory, it basically has no taste because it's made out of nothing. It gets pumped full of preservatives. It's put into a package that gets shipped like from across country to country, or like gets shipped like very far away. They're stored on shelves for absolutely months, and it loses flavor. That's pretty much why flavoring exists in processed food, because that food, it's not even a food. It's like a slab of like chemicals that are put together. So flavoring makes this weird fake food taste like actual food. So it's interesting because with flavoring, you guys have probably heard me talk about about fragrances in care products. So like in female care products, sometimes there's something called fragrance, and fragrance is made up of loads of different ingredients, but it's just labeled as one. So there can be like 100 different ingredients, but they'll just need to label it as flavoring or fragrance. So that is basically what flavoring is in a food. There could be like 10 ingredients, there could be 20, there could be 200. Okay, maybe not that much, but there could be a lot. I think less than 100 is what's allowed. So it's basically like a chemical cocktail of different things that is in this flavoring. So really, we don't even know what's in it. We don't know what we're putting into our bodies. And that's why it's a bit of an issue. So if there's something with flavoring, just try and stay away from it. The next thing is synthetic vitamins. I know so many people who... Oh, I'm going to read your comments after, even though I'm dying to read yours, Molly. We'll definitely talk about whatever you just wrote at the end. So synthetic vitamins. So ascorbic acid is a really, really common one, and like just stay away from ascorbic acid. It is whack. So this is an example, basically a lab created vitamin. It's not something that you're going to find in an apple. It's not something that you're going to find in nature. People in white coats in labs have literally created this ingredient and put it into this food. It's made from various substances like petroleum and also GMOs, which are genetically modified ingredients. They're not natural, they're man-made, and they don't really get absorbed into the body. So like an apple or like something that's natural, the vitamins and minerals in that food are gonna get absorbed into your body because it's food. Excuse me. But things that are man-made in a lab, you're gonna eat them and they're not gonna get assimilated into the body. They're not going to get absorbed into the body, so they're just going to be floating around like foreign substances in your body. So it's just a little bit whack. Do I look weird sitting here? Sorry, I'm like scrunched up in the corner of my sofa. That's better. I don't look like my shoulders are in my ears. So when this is in foods, when ascorbic acid is in foods, you might see the label on the front as like fortified or enriched. So like sometimes you'll see children's cereal. This is like a really interesting example. It will say like it's fortified or it's enriched with vitamins and minerals, and that's obviously going to appeal to like a parent or a carer or like a big sister, to be like, oh okay, like my little cousin or like my little sibling or my children enjoy this cereal. It's got loads of vitamins and minerals in it, so that's great. But when you turn it around, you'll see that it's actually a bunch of like fake vitamins and minerals that have been added. They've been made in a lab and just added into it. So kind of like ascorbic acid, you'll probably see that in a lot of cereal. Also like synthetic vitamin B complex vitamins and stuff like that. So it's always about going for the ingredients rather than looking at the pretty label at the front, because it's going to say like fat free, enriched with vitamins, blah blah blah, but like turn it around and look at the actual ingredients. If there's something that you don't understand, go online, Google it, and see what's up. But yeah, synthetic vitamins, it sounds like it's a good thing, but it's not, because they're man-made, they're not natural, and they're not going to get absorbed into your body, and they're not going to do what they need to do.
So stay away from that. Also, the reason that this food would be enriched with it is because it ain't got it in it. So that should be like ringing alarm bells. Like, if a food needs to be enriched with vitamins, it means that it must be seriously lacking in some vitamins. So stay away from that.
Okay, the last one from this is methyl cellulose. So this is a really simple one. You can Google it, and like the top 5 searches will tell you what this ingredient is about. It's a chemical compound. It's used as a thickener and as an emulsifier in foods, and also in cosmetic products, which is really important. Like, I don't think that any ingredient that is used in like mass-produced cosmetic products should be used in food. Because I mean, obviously with stuff that's like DIY on this channel, or you know, things that you're gonna make, or things that are from trusted ethical companies, then yeah, fair enough, they're gonna use natural ingredients, it's going on your skin, you'll be able to eat it. But the stuff that's in like L'Oreal and Garnier and that kind of thing, that's like wild. So yeah, sorry, I'm seeing all your comments and I really want to answer them now, but I won't. So it's used in cosmetic products, methyl cellulose, and it's not digestible by our bodies. So it's a complete chemical. It will go into our bodies. It's just going to clog up our digestive system and other systems in our bodies, and it's going to cause blockages in our lymph and other organs and stuff like that. So just stay away from it, because it will increase the toxicity of the body, and that's not what we want. So that's kind of a breakdown of 3 things that I picked from the Beyond Meat burgers. And now we got Quorn. So the Quorn one, I picked this one. So it's a vegan, the 2 vegan burgers. Hope you guys can see this. And yeah, these ingredients are scary. Like, and it's scary because I know so many up there who eat this because, like, it's a vegetarian vegan option. Like, it's easy for us to eat this, but it's not good for us, and that's why I want to talk about this the most, because up in there eat this a lot, especially Quorn, especially in the UK. So flavorings, again, same as before, it's a chemical cocktail of ingredients which make up one ingredient, so stay away. The next one, calcium chloride. So this one actually gets me really angry, seeing calcium chloride and the fact that these companies are allowed to use it in food. Like, this is not anything that should be going into our bodies or our family's bodies. Like, it's absolutely horrible. So it's used in processed food and sometimes in pickled food to add a salty taste without increasing the sodium content. So the actual sodium content of the food will stay low, but it will taste really salty. And this is an issue because at the front of packages in the UK, we have like this traffic light system, right? I'm just gonna get it up, and you can see like the calories, the fats, the fiber. I have no Wi-Fi, so I'm not gonna do anything. But you guys kind of get what I mean. On the front of like a processed foods, it will say like the calories, the fats, the salt, the sugar, and I think the saturates as well on the front. And it will be labeled green, yellow, or red. If it's green, it's like cool. If it's yellow, it's a bit iffy. And if it's red, it's too high for your recommended daily amount, which is your RDA. So this is why it's interesting, because they'll put this chemical ingredient in there, but the sodium content will still be low. So someone who's got issues with like hypertension, high blood pressure, they will look at this and be like, okay, like, I can eat this food and like nothing's gonna happen to my health. But the thing is, when you turn it around and you look at the ingredients and you realize like, oh crap, like that's why I can apparently supposedly eat this, because the salt seems low, but they're putting a load of chemical crap into the thing. Sorry, you guys are like firing away with some really, really cool questions, and it's really hard. I can't multitask to save my life. So yeah, that's why it gets me angry, because the sodium content might appear to be low, but it's just filled with a load of chemicals, and it's going to taste salty. You're going to get that salty taste without actually eating the salt, but you're eating something that's even worse for your body. And that's what just gets me so angry, because we're not taught about health in this country in schools. Like, no one is. But especially for me as being a Punjabi, like, I'm a 2nd generation immigrant. Both of my parents are from Punjab, and they don't understand this stuff, and it's not their fault. It's no one's fault that no one in this country understands what true health or true ingredients or true, you know, actual whole foods are supposed to be. And, you know, like, growing up, foods that we thought were healthy were actually contributing to the decline of our health and the decline of our body. And I'm sure so many immigrant families can relate to that. When you're living on a budget, when you're trying to navigate things in this country which just don't make sense, food is something food being on the table is a priority, and it doesn't really matter what it is. But if we can start to understand that this BS traffic light system that they put on the front is just that, it's BS. It doesn't tell you anything about what's in the food. It will give you like some random numbers, and that traffic light system is very appealing, and if it's green it's like, okay, I can eat this. But you turn it around and there's like the worst ingredients in that are going to clog your arteries. They're going to make you gain weight. They're going to make you have water retention. They're going to increase your risks of getting chronic diseases. They're going to make you constipated. They're going to give you migraines, like a whole list of issues that we're just so used to having, because then we set our bar of health, like where we think health should be, really low. And we just start getting used to these symptoms. Having a stomachache is normal. Having a headache is normal. Being constipated is normal. And I don't want that to be anyone's normal, because health is so attainable if we know how. So basically, please always just turn the packet around and read what's actually in it. If you don't know what it is, like I said before, Google it, figure it out. The first 5 or 10 sort of Google searches will give you an idea of what that product is or what that ingredient is, and then you can make the choice of if you want to eat it. An informed decision is always better than just going with the traffic light thing, which looks great, but it doesn't really tell you anything about what you're putting into your body. Calories and stuff, I'll be honest with you, they're not really a big deal. You can't compare calories, because you could get like 10 calories of oil versus 10 calories of sugar. And if you're on a calorie restricted diet, you'll be able to eat that 10 calories of sugar 10 times a day, and you'll have like 100 calories, but you'll be in a deficit, and you're also eating something that's not good for you. Whereas if you're eating 10 calories of a whole food, it's going to fill you up a lot better, and you're going to get your fiber, you're going to get all these vitamins and minerals, and it's not going to cause damage to your inside. So calories, you can't rely just on calories, or just on sodium, or just on that little green light traffic light system, is basically what I'm trying to say. We need more information about the food that's going into our body. It just doesn't give us enough information. There was also some comments on Instagram that I got, and I just wanted to read them. One of them, I'm going to keep both these people anonymous. I did ask them permission if I could use their comment, but I didn't say that I was going to use their name. So someone messaged and said, I've heard you say the good-bad classification isn't maybe the best way to classify, and that elimination of certain foods might not be what health is about. Moderation and understanding how your body and mind respond to what you eat. I understand a little until here, but then aren't certain foods really just not helpful to the body? If we replace them with natural stuff and actually cut them out, wouldn't it help us loads? I'm talking about junk foods, soft drinks, and ice creams as such. Mass-produced, cheap, ingredient-based, heavy stuff. So kind of like the stuff that we were talking about, these processed foods. So what this Benji is basically saying is that surely there must be a category of food which is bad. Now, the reason I just don't like using that language and that terminology is because it can be quite drastic, and it can also be quite damaging for someone who's trying to make a transition to a healthier lifestyle. Like I said, it's not our fault that we're not taught this stuff. It's not our fault that we don't know how to read ingredients and what health could look like for us. It's not our fault. So labeling something as bad, even these foods, right? So this Beyond Meat burger and this Quorn burger, like, I can't sit here and say to you guys, these are bad, because there might be a time when you're in a restaurant with your friends and this is the only option you've got. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna stop going out with your friends? Like, that's gonna cause damage to your mental health, which is also a part of health. Are you just gonna go hungry, which is probably gonna make you angry, which is also gonna damage your health, because bad emotions aren't good. You know, then they're not healthy for you. So health is like such a holistic thing. Like, there's such a multidisciplinary thing. It's not just about the physical. Like, the mental also plays a big part. So I don't know, sometimes, like, if I'm feeling a bit crap and there's like a chocolate there, I'm gonna eat it. I'm giving like a really rubbish example, by the way. Let's think of another one. If I come home after a really long day and someone has bought samosa pakore, spring rolls with chutney and imli and all of this stuff, and I know that it's not going to be the best for me because it's deep fried food and it's been bought from outside, but I'm hella hungry, I'm hella exhausted, I'm hella upset, and that samosa looks nice to me. I'm going to eat 3,
and I'm gonna feel a little bit better, and then I'm gonna go to sleep, and I'll wake up, and yeah, maybe I'll have like a little bit of a stomach ache, but I'll be able to handle it. Because it's just in that moment, sometimes you're on survival mode and you gotta do what you gotta do. Like I said at the beginning, it's a really nuanced thing. It's not as easy as saying like, yep, deep fried foods are bad, never eat them, and whole foods that are home cooked are great. Because sometimes, guys, gang, I'll be honest with you, sometimes we don't want to cook. This week for me personally has been really busy with keeping up with projects and deadlines and managing things in my personal life. So I've been eating out a lot, and that's okay because it's not my forever. I guess that's where it comes into good and bad. Like, I know my limits. And it's about knowing your limits. If you're starting to eat 3 to 6 samosa or 3 to 6 slices of pizza every single day for like 2-3 weeks, your body's gonna your body's gonna adjust, and you're gonna be able to feel if that feels right for you. And it's probably not gonna feel right for you if you're buying it from like Domino's or Pizza Hut, right? Like, outside food just isn't the best. But sometimes we're gonna have it because that's just the way of life, and that's also okay. The biggest thing is, I don't want anyone to beat themselves up for eating like a takeaway, or eating food from a restaurant, or eating a packet of crisps or an ice cream from the supermarket. Like, you're not gonna die from that, right? And sometimes when you're in a crap mood, food is a really emotional thing, and if we're emotional eating, it's gonna make us feel better. But know your limits, as Awol just said. Know your limits. Listen to your body. You're the one who knows how a food is gonna affect you. So, for example, for me, when I'm on my period, I know that desi kyo is gonna make me feel amazing. Desi kyo is gonna make me feel absolutely amazing. And it's going to make my period pain go away. But for someone else who's lactose intolerant, that's not going to make them feel good. So everyone's body is different. There's not a one diet that's going to be great for you. But what I can say as a general rule is less processed foods, more whole, home-cooked foods. And whatever balance you find with that is the most important thing. Someone else, another Benji, actually messaged something really interesting about Beyond Meat specifically. She said discussing fake meat would be great. I totally agree with you that it's not mentally healthy to always label food as good or bad. But fake meat, especially the Beyond Meat burger, has products that are terrible for your health but are no worse even than real meat. I studied Beyond Meat as a company for uni, so I'm fairly confident in this. Although I do think fake meat is aimed at transitioners, meat eaters who want to reduce their new consumption, and I think this is a really good thing because it's counterproductive to have an absolutist stance to your diet and what you eat when you're trying something new for the first time, because it almost always will result in demotivating and failure. So every little helps, and fake meat really helps with mental and habitual transition. Exactly. I think there's a place for fake meats as long as it's not like on a daily or weekly basis. Like, that's when it becomes problematic, because we spoke about the ingredients. This stuff is not food. Like, I'm never gonna advise anyone to eat, you know, Beyond Meat or Quorn or like, you know, Mr. Singh's pizza on a daily basis. But it's there and life happens. Your friends are gonna call you out at 10 p.m. and Mr. Singh's is gonna be the only place that's open. You're gonna go Mr. Singh's and eat pizza. You're probably gonna enjoy it. It's alright. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'm gonna read your comments now from the top. Oh no. How? Ah, yes. Okay. I didn't know how to read them. Okay, so Molly Isabella said, I'm in a tricky situation. I went vegan for health a long time ago, but got diagnosed with, I don't even know what that says, an intolerance allergy in October, which is a fruit and veg allergy. So it affects me so much now. It's really hard to accept. I know so many people who eat fake meat burgers and think it's healthy because it's vegan. All right, yeah, that's another thing. Like, just because something is labeled as vegan does not mean it's healthy. Boy, like, vegan food, like, that's a big market for money. And most things that are labeled vegan in the supermarkets these days are not healthy. And that's why it's important to turn the packet around, because the stuff that's on the front is just there to sell it to you, including that little traffic light thing. Like, if it's all green, we're more likely to purchase it. Wagujigi Khalsa Wagujigi Fote Benji is Bramdi from California. Brampuji Brampua. Did you ask anything else? No, you didn't. Much love and respect. You too. What's the best way for vegans to get B12? The best way, the way that we get it is through CMOS. sea moss is a really good thing, a really good way to get your B complex vitamins. A big respect, Sing Mahuna. That's so sweet. Big respect to Sing Mahoon. Chemical ingredients scare me so much. Don't be scared by them. I think just recognize what they do and make the decision of how much or how little you wanna eat them, but don't ever let them scare you. There's nothing to be scared about. I used to eat that so much, gun pizza. You know it. I've laid off that food too. So sorry for all the comments. Oh, don't apologize for comments, guys. But you give the best advice. I've been so run down lately on antibiotics for chest infections, having thrush. I want to feel healthy again. You will feel healthy. Like, it will happen. Listen to your body. Do what's right for your body, because what's right for your body, no one can tell you that, and you'll figure it out. And please, Molly, like, message me if you want more advice. Like, I'll be more than happy. But I'm deep. We don't have that kind of labeling system here. I always have to search up everything at the store. Yeah, see, that's another issue with, I think US guidelines are a lot more loose. Like, we're super lucky in Europe and in the UK that there's a lot tighter restrictions and regulations of what even goes into our processed food. Like, MSG is not MSG. High fructose corn syrup is not allowed in this country, and although things like MSG and like all of the stuff that we discussed is allowed, like, there's some we're protected better than other countries. So that is also like a really positive thing. Like, whenever I go to the States or Canada, like, the food there is wild, but in some situations there's not much I can do. So for 2 weeks, like, I'll notice that my health kind of declines and I'm feeling a bit more fatigued, but it's 2 weeks of my life, it's okay. Another important thing I want to mention here is that it's not about if you're trying to prevent a disease, you're in a bit of a better position rather than if you're trying to manage a disease. If you've got to manage a disease, if you've already got a chronic issue, then you have to go hard with your food. You have to be really particular about what food you eat and what food you let into your body, because you're trying to reverse, cure and manage disease and symptoms, rather than if you're trying to prevent it from even coming, you can be a bit more relaxed with it. So that also plays a huge part in all of this. Where did I get up to? Forward to maybe seeing you at Coventry. All being well, I can make it to Cov. I think it's okay to balance food intake. Yeah, I'll be in Coventry at what Gurdwara is it? I can't remember what Gurdwara is it, but it's a Gurdwara in Coventry. It's an all-female event, and I'll put the details up on the community tab here and also on my Instagram. So stay tuned for that. You are saying, wow, you're saying hella. Greetings from Oakland. Yeah, I say hella. I picked it out from when I went. What the hell just happened always? Picked it out when I went to California, and also from like Instagram as well. I'm popping off here, so nice to see your face. We'll message you. Yes, message me. I like this nuanced approach to healthy eating, especially as a beginner. Yes, like, nuance is so important because nuance is important because it's just, there's a lot of gray area, and mental health is also a really important thing. Like, nutrition, like, genuinely to me, nutrition is not just about food. It's about mental health and the things that surround your life and your habits and all that stuff. It's a holistic thing, and it's nuanced, like you said. I've tried fake meat burgers like Beyond Meat and the Impossible Burger. Homemade or natural, soy-free always tastes better. Yes, what's your opinion on, I agree with that, Benji. Like, homemade or like a little bit more natural, like always soy-free, like just something that you can taste is actually real freaking food is always the best. I really think so. What's your opinion on artificial sweeteners and stevia for people with diabetes? Okay, diabetes is an interesting one. Diabetes is interesting because often, like, saturated fats from animal products can not block, but cause what is it called? Can create plaque on our body, inside our body. Let me just start again. Saturated fats from certain animal foods and also from processed foods can create plaque on the inside of our body. And that means that the sugar can't go do its job. It's just floating around in the bloodstream. So then your blood sugar increases. So it's about managing, again, it's a holistic approach. It's about managing your whole diet and then slowly coming off of those sugar alternatives. Although they do play their role, because I've seen a lot of older people who don't know any better, and, you know, that has kind of helped them manage their blood sugar a bit, but I don't think it's a long-term solution. I think managing your whole body, eating less processed foods, eating more vegetables and fiber, and trying to find a balance of naturally controlling your blood sugar and also getting more natural sugars into your body as well. there's a lot of videos online, and I think Dr. John Morse, JOHNMORS, has some videos about naturally what is happening to my voice, about naturally controlling or managing blood sugar levels without using things like stevia and stuff like that. So definitely check that out. How do you stop binge emotional eating? My parents force me to eat all 3 times a day, and it's usually fast food. I'm not sure how to even detox, and I'm tired of eating in general. That's a super big question. I don't think I'm able to answer that here. Because I guess there's a lot of information that I don't have, Lyra Rose. So if you would like to email me or shout me on Instagram and drop me a message, maybe we can talk about this a little bit more in detail. I would absolutely love to, because I'm sure I could give you some advice if we have a proper conversation. What do you think of YouTubers who dedicate their channels to shilling for crappy vegan products, thinking they're doing positively for the vegan community and transitioning vegans? I don't know. Everyone does their thing on YouTube. I don't really have an opinion on that. If someone wants to make content about whatever they want to make content about and it works for them, go for it. It is nothing to me. I don't really watch much YouTube either, so I guess, yeah. All in all, I don't mind. Let be and let be. Live and let live. Like, let them do their thing. Yeah. What's your opinion on allergy tests? I've never come into contact with an allergy test. I've never had to. I guess if I was put in a situation where like something happened to me and I didn't understand it, then maybe I would go for an allergy test. I know a lot of children who get allergy tests, if they get like eczema or acne or like some kind of reaction to something that the parent can't figure out what it is, and in those situations I think it makes a lot of sense. It is good to figure out what your allergies are and what you shouldn't be eating. Yeah, not much more to say on that. You're prone to eczema. Alright, there's a lot you can do for eczema with like your diet as well, and also topically too. I've got a video of a homemade body cream that I make. It's on my DIY playlist if you want to check it out, and it's really really good for eczema. It's really thick and it's only got 2 ingredients, so it's not going to irritate your skin or anything like that. So yeah, check it out. It's a pretty good video. A lot of people have said that it's helped their eczema. It helped my eczema a lot. I'm very prone to eczema as well, but that is something that has really helped manage it. Alright, cool. So we have been talking for what is your Instagram name. It's the same as this, Core Health, KAURHEALTH, KAURHEALTH, God Health, on Instagram. So Lyra Rose, yeah, drop me a message there, follow me, and we'll talk a little bit more about your situation and how you can maybe make that better. Thank you for the answer. You are welcome, Bene. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. I am gonna skedaddle. I'm gonna finish off Harry Potter because it was getting to the good bit. Which one was I watching? Deathly Hallows, I think. I can't remember. Sing Mahoon. Which one were we watching? Yeah, so I'm gonna go watch Harry Potter. I'm gonna go do some more work and stuff. If you guys want to talk about this stuff a little bit more, follow me on my Instagram. Keep up to date with like the events that we're doing in London and in the UK. I'm going to be coming up to the Midlands in a couple of weeks to do a workshop on how to make your own, I can't even remember, I've been back and forth with so many people, but how to make your own something, and it's going to be really fun. So yeah, hit me up on Instagram so you can keep up to date with that stuff. And I think that is all I have to report on. If you guys have any other topics of things that you want me to talk about in these YouTube lives, let me know. This was super super fun. I love this topic. I'm gonna save this video and upload it so you guys can watch it at your own leisure, and I hope you have a great day whatever it is that you're doing. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day here in London. It is getting quite late, so I'm gonna put my PJs on, eat some dinner and chill, but yeah, wherever you are, thank you so much for tuning in. I deeply deeply appreciate all of your support, all of you for tuning in, taking time out to come onto my corner of the internet. And yeah, I will see you guys very very soon. Maybe not next Thursday, maybe in a couple Thursdays, but whenever I see you,